What is up, everybody? Josh here again, and today we have a new Star Rupture video for you. Today we'll be showing you where to get all 11 blueprints for the recipe station, and also we'll be going to every single point of interest currently in the game in this early access release. Let's get into it, shall we? We have explored the whole entire map of Star Rupture, and we have found every single location or building location that has the recipe. So we're going to tell you exactly where everything is. There's going to be timestamps down below if you're looking for a specific recipe. So whenever we show you things on the map, we're going to show you from the orbital lander here, which is in the southwestern part of the map. And then we'll show you from there and kind of help you get to the location. But we're going to go over on a brand new save and show you where all the recipes or blueprints are. There's going to be duplicates at different POIs. So we're going to go ahead and just go to every single one of the points of interest and show you what you could get there. And if you're wondering how many war bonds we got by doing this, we got a grand total of 630. That's from bodies that we found around and to the locations, and actually in the location. So that is a ton of war bonds that you can get for upgrading your weapons. So this is also a great method to go around to these locations and get war bonds. So very close to the starter zone right here is the orbital lander. You're going to go a little bit northwest and you're going to find this little pink helium area right here. We're going to go ahead and show you where the recipes is for this. So if you go in the top level, you can loot all this area if you want to, but we're just showing the recipes or blueprints. What you're going to do is come to this little 3-story building right here. There is a rock right behind it. Put our gun away so we can run a little faster. And then you come into the top of it right here. Go down to the second level. Usually you'll find blue boxes have blueprints in them. And this is where you're going to find the tube and a rotor blueprint and some war bonds as well. Probably some random item also. But this is where you're going to find your very first tube and rotor recipe. Of course, you can just exit through the bottom here. Just hit this little button right here on the door and you can exit. The next location is going to be right here where we're located. And it is kind of north, just pretty much north from the orbital lander. You're going to go north and you're going to go and hit this little building or structure right here called Lemon Souls. And the blueprint is located up in the top of these right here. So what you could do is you can go in the very top right here, jump across, and you'll find the blue box right here. And this will give you the Stator blueprint, and you can grab that. The next location is called Warm Dawn, and it is located directly east of the orbital lander. So you just got to go east. And keep in mind, most of these locations are going to have enemies that you're going to have to kill. We're just going to wipe them out before we actually start recording. That was just a little ancillary character. You just got to jump over here and go over to the middle here. Then you got to jump up. Use your double jump like so. And go over. There's a ladder here. And then up top, you're going to find a storage box. And that's going to give you a rotor blueprint. Next location is going to be called Strawberry. And yes, it is actually called Strawberry. And it is located here in the south. Right here is the orbital lander. You go directly east. Gotta crawl off some resources and stuff like that. And then you head right here to Strawberry. It's kind of like in the middle of the map right there. Kind of south of this large sulfur farm here. And it's got like a tower and just one building and a storage unit outside. We're going to show you that you can go to the main building here. There's a body there you can loot. And then inside here you have the tube blueprint. So you can get tubes here. The next location we're going to go over is called Copperfield. And this is a very, very large compound. It has 2 Goliaths that spawn near it. And it also has a ton of enemies. So maybe doing it after a rupture might be a great idea. You're going to, right here is your spawn at the orbital lander. You're going to go directly east all the way over here till you see this giant Copperfield here. And there is one structure that has a blueprint. Now, there's a lot of structures here. There's towers, storage, and stuff over here. If you can come from this side up here up north and just kind of jump in the top of this right here with double jump, you can get to the blueprint box, which is up top, and then maybe run away if you have a lot of enemies on you. But in here, you're going to find the electronics blueprint, and you're also going to find a Stator blueprint and some other valuable items. Next location is going to be called Spored Rock, and it is all the way east on the map. So as far east as you can go, directly across from Orbital Lander. It's all the way over here east, kind of north of this little helium deposit here, and this is what it looks like around in the area. There's going to be a lot of infection here, so you got to watch out for your shield. Your shield's going to be down most of the time you're in here. There are also going to be enemies here and respawn points, so you want to take care of those. From the stairs here, we're going to go up to this little tower-looking thing here in the corner. And right here is your storage box. This has the stabilizer and chemicals blueprint, and some war bonds and nice things and stuff. And not too far from there, we have Chromatic tomorrow. It is actually directly north of the one we just showed you, Spored Rock. And there's another one not too far we're going to show you next. But it's right here is the orbital lander, and it's all the way over in the east, a little north, but mostly all the way in the east over here. So you're going to be going east, and this is where you're going to find it. And in the bottom of this one right here, you're just going to kind of jump on these boxes. Get inside, there's a body down here you can loot for some war bonds. And then you have this underneath the little table here, you have the rotor blueprint. This next location is actually called the final spot. If you're starting from the orbital lander, right here, you're going to go directly east and a little bit north, right past the engine right here, and you're going to go into this little corner right here. There's just a little corner here, radiation surrounding it, and it's located right here. It's also one of the best places for hydro bulbs. There's literally hydro bulbs everywhere here, and I'll let the lore tell you why. But you just hop into the building here. Oops. Just hop into the building here and you'll see the blue box here, and this will give you the synthetic silicon blueprint and also the Stator blueprint. This next location is called the empty sleeve, and there is a Goliath here and a ton of enemies, and you just got to go up to it. It's directly south of the engine, the forgotten engine right there, and east from the orbital lander, so right here in this area. Directly south of the engine. So you're going to be going into the left building and going all the way up top to get this blueprint. Right here, you can loot. There's all kinds of different stuff here you can loot. You can get tons of war bonds doing this as well. But up top, underneath this little shelf right here, you're going to find the tube and the valve blueprint. The next location is right at the engine. So at the very bottom of the engine, probably don't need to see this, but I'm still going to show you. Orbital lander right here. Just kind of go kind of northeast, and then you'll see the, if you can't see the engine, you're blind. You probably aren't playing the game, but right here it's called Next Step, and it's down in this little valley here. Gotta be careful with this area. There are tons of enemies, and they will sit there and attack you. Probably need to kite them out, kind of like what she's doing, and then destroy them. Coming down the hill from the side of the engine, so the engine's directly behind me. We're going to go all the way into the back here of all this rubble. Into this kind of sunken in building over here. On this side. Sorry. And there's a little piece right here. So kind of like directly underneath this right here. All the way on the edge. And you'll see a blue storage box here. And this is going to give you the rotor and the hardening agent, so you need a hardening agent for sure. Next location is called Little Cloud Research Outpost, and it is kind of west of the engine. If you go west of the engine and a little bit north from the one we just came from, of course, from the orbital lander here, it is completely north, and then you're going to go a little bit east, but it's located right here next to this large sulfur field, and this is what it looks like around here. If you go into this middle building right here, that's where you're going to find your blueprint in the corner over here. And it is a blueprint for the tube. The next location is called Gray Owl. It is a infected research outpost. It is located a little bit west of the engine here. And if you're looking on the map from the orbital lander, it's right over here, kind of northeast from the orbital lander. Located right here. It's kind of tucked back in here, so it's not too easy to get to. Usually you go up here and go around, or you can go around and come down this way like we kind of did. It's directly south from the Little Cloud down here, so if you go directly south from Little Cloud, you'll get right here to Gray Owl. And this one is located at the very top. There's going to be enemies here, spawners and stuff like that. No Goliaths or anything like that, but there's some infection here that we're going to have to jump up right here. So at the very top, you'll see some solar panels up here. And what you'll have to do is kind of jump these little platforms right here. You don't have to double jump there, maybe here. And at the very, very top up here, you'll see a body PDA, and you'll also see the blue box. And the blue box contains stabilizers. So it's an easy place to get stabilizers when you first start out. It's pretty close to the starting zone. Next location is called Faithgate. It's not too far from the spawn. It's actually directly north of it. So you have the orbital lander right here, and you go north. There's a way to go around right here, as you can see in the dots. And you can go up to Faithgate right here. And it's all the way west on the map, actually. We're just going to go directly up the hill here. Kind of cross this little bridge here. Cross over here, go up the ladder. Visit the main structure here, and right here you'll find a rotor blueprint. And bodies. Next place is called Mythic Cry, and it is located just a little bit kind of northeast of the one we just went, Faithgate, and it's directly west of this little 3 helium deposit right here, and west of the large sulfur right here as well. But it's over here on the west. If you're going from the orbital lander, you'll go up this way and then just head straight to here. Now, this is the easiest side to actually enter this from. If you come around the mountain and then go up, you're going to see there's a way or there's a path. Otherwise, it's just pretty much rocks and full mountain. So you got to go up this area right here. On the very front of the structure here, we're going to go ahead and head up on the hill, which is over this direction. Go up the stairs, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to jump into this little hole in the very top of the building. You might be able to double jump and get inside here. And then you'll find the box here on the bottom. And it contains a stabilizer and synthetic silicon blueprint. And some more bonds. And the way you get out, I've already done it, but you can just hit E here to open the door. On either side, doesn't matter. And it'll lead you out. Next one is called Starry Night. It's actually located right above sulfur deposits here, and it is near this giant mountain here. It is directly north of the orbital lander on the west side here, right before you get to the Red Lakes. And it is right, it's kind of tucked in right here. You got to kind of jump down and you go down. There's quite a few of them, actually. Or, you know, you could just kind of jump off like this. That's kind of what we do. But there's a way up. And then inside of here, at the very bottom, you're going to find the electronics and also rotor blueprint. And the next location is actually called Liquid Luck. It is directly south of the large satellite that you see on the map. There's a large satellite all the way up northeast. And it's north of the large Forgotten Engine. So you're looking at all the way up north here. Pretty much in this corner up here. Just directly below Redleaf, which we'll go to next. But it's called Liquid Luck. And it's down in this little valley here. Just a really small point of interest. And over here in this middle building right here, you're going to see this blue chest, and it's going to have stabilizers, chemicals, and some war bonds. Right here in the middle. And another little tablet. And the final location is called Redleaf. And it's probably best to do this after a rupture, like a fresh rupture. So this one actually requires you to get 4 cards, 1 main card, and then 3 additional key cards. We'll show you the locations of all those. So you want to go to the almost the 5 stacked building up at the very, very beginning, right here, or in the very middle, sorry. And when you go into this middle building here, you're going to see a bunch. If you do this without a rupture, you're going to see a bunch of these little red plants around that slow you. It's kind of why it's annoying to do whenever there's not a rupture. But what you're going to do is come to this building that's stacked 5. I'm sorry, over here, the one that's across from it. This building right here. And I think I'm going to have to jump up in this one. And right here, you're going to find the very first card. You need this. This is called the access card. And it's located right here on the map. You're going to have to grab that. Grab the body next to it. That access card will let you get to other cards. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go directly north of that card when we find it. Go across here. There'll be little red leaves there, or plants. We're going to go over to this little building right here, this derelict building. And we're going to access it with the card we just got. And on the desk here, we'll find our first security clearance card and some loot. Then we'll exit the building. We're going to go head back to the center here. Jumping across here if you are doing this without the rupture. And what we're going to do is we're going to head kind of from this building right here, the stacked building. We're going to head directly west towards that dead body there. You'll see some stairs here. And then there's going to be another building just like we just opened. We're going to use our red clearance card and open that up. And go ahead and grab the card right here. The second key card. Then we're going to exit. And there's one more key card that we have to get. We're going to head back to the center here. We're always going to head back to the center here and kind of show you from there. That's the easiest way for me to describe it. You could jump across these little platforms and stuff if you want to, or have to. You have to do that during a non-rupture. We're going to head over here to this part right here, and this is down south, the south portion of the base. And then we're going to go to that building right there. This one right here. We're going to jump across here, use our card to access, and then go upstairs. And at the top here, we're going to find the final security clearance, and that is located right here on the map. So right here, and right here. You can kind of see them on the map there. Those 3, and then we're going to come back to the center where we started it all. We're going to jump across here. And go back to the center where that structure is stacked. We're going to go all the way upstairs. All the way up the stairs on the side. We're going to access this card right here. And then what we're going to do next is we can open this door as well if you want. But we're going to go upstairs. Doesn't matter which ladder you go up to. And then we're going to throw all the key cards in there and access this door. And inside here, we're going to find the blue box. And that is going to give us the valve, hardening agent, electromagnetic coil, and turbine blueprints. And a body, of course, as well. And another little quick loot tip. You can actually go upstairs and go across. And there's a little bit more loot up top here. And if you are counting, that will lead you with 11 blueprints. So these are all the blueprints that are currently in the early access version of the game that we're playing right now, or so far, all the blueprints so far that you need to advance your story. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment down below and let us know in the comments. And hopefully, we'll see you next time. Peace.